And we're back again. We're going to be doing some 303 stuff as soon as I group these together and make it, I'll make it all colorful. Okay, so that is my Drumazon group. Then I have an empty MIDI track here, and I'm going to be dropping my 303 in there. So this doesn't really look like a 303. The original 303 did not have a distortion section, but generally don't make this, don't get scared. It's very easy once you get into it, and I'm gonna show you the absolute easiest way, like beginner, how to get a basic kind of groove going. So unlike the other one where we disable the internal sequential mode, we're gonna go host mode, right? So now, if my theory is correct, each key will make a separate pattern. So the 303, you have patterns that just repeat over and over again. It's 16 steps, and they change, and basically it has a little sequencer. The original 303 was a commercial failure. It was meant to replace like a bass guitarist, or like use a in practice, if your bass guitarist wasn't there because he was hungover, you'd have a 303. Generally, they didn't sell very well, and they were just trying to get rid of them and selling them for very cheap. And you know, a couple guys started using them, and now they're about $2,000 because they're very sought after. And Roland refuses to reissue them. Anyway, but yeah, so now we've done that, we have my keyboard in front of me, which is push, and each key will be its own pattern, theoretically. Right? So each key is its own pattern. You can program them in, which is really fun. I'll go over that in, you know, another video one day. But you can either turn everything off, and play it that way, but just for general jamming and being really fun, we're just gonna do it this way. So that's a good one. So that's this key, whatever that is, and I'll create a MIDI clip. Try to find it. There it is. And I will stretch you out there. So now we have this guy going. Which is pretty cool. So that'll go on basically forever. And you might be saying, okay, well this doesn't sound like a 303. It doesn't sound like it. Okay, well let's try changing from a square wave to a saw wave. No. So what is the key to the 303 sound? Well, that is distortion, of course. And there's a built-in distortion section in the unit. Well, not the unit, in the plugin, but not in the original unit. You'd run that through like a guitar pedal or something. So we're going to turn that on. Oh no, it's not doing anything. So basically, don't worry about anything else except these two knobs here. Preamp and clip, right? So what we want to do, we want to bring the clip up to around the volume that we want, usually around here. So I'll play that for you now. And the preamp, so the clip is basically volume, right? And the preamp is the volume before this one. So we're basically overloading it, overdriving, right? There you go. So we'll move this up until we get a nice bite, and it's pretty fun how that happens. So check this out. Maybe that's a little too high. I'll move this down. Start again. If we go too much, we get like weird foldback, and it seriously degrades the signal. Right, so we have that. We can change the saw. Changes the timbre. And yeah, so I'm just going to quickly configure the two most important fun knobs. Cut off and resonance, and envelope mod, and for fun, envelope accent. And they're all laid out on here. So it's a combination of resonance on the filter and cutoff. So both on 0 0. This is something with the distortion still. Distortion's still on. This is something that you would kind of hear during your, I don't know. It's a very familiar sound, right? So what we'll do now is we'll open the cutoff and we'll give that a try. See how that sounds. So that sounds cool. So we'll bring the resonance up to 100% because that's how we roll. And yeah, we'll open the cutoff, and you get that squelchy 303 sound, and it's very satisfying. And then how does that sound with the kick and the bass? We'll copy this sidechain compressor here and we'll paste it here, right? So now just like the real thing. So anyway, the other important thing is the accent, and that is kind of like its punchiness, if that makes any sense. So I'll show you what it does. Right? And the attack is more, it's like increasing the attack on the filter. Right? So I like to have in the envelope decay. It's basically like a rudimentary ADSR. And slide time is how fast it goes from one note to the other when accent and slide are enabled on this. But that's like a whole other subject. I'll get into that later at a later date, of course. So like a more if the slide time has more time, it's more of a, it's kind of like glide. Yeah, we'll say it's glide. If you have that off. And the accent volume, you can turn that down. Yeah, and it's mostly cutoff and resonance, and it's, yeah, I've never used a real one, but I've seen videos and they're very much comparable. And what you can do is you can duplicate this and just have it go on forever in your sequence and just play, and then just like open up the filter and then close it and just like jam out like how they used to do, like back in the day. And that way, you know, it's kind of an intense experience. If you have any kind of MIDI controller with MIDI learn, or if you have a push, you can do all that fun stuff. So yeah, all together it sounds pretty neat, very old schooly. Right. So I may do another video, I may not. I'm gonna, yeah, I'll do another video. All right, next up we're gonna be doing a bit of neat processing with their Silverline, their Bit Crusher, and a few other things, and we're gonna work on our loop a little bit more, and yeah, jam out again, hopefully. So yeah, hopefully we're all paying attention and having fun. Anyway, I'll be back. All right, take care.